Headlines. Beijing is locked down as the country showcases power on global stage. Ghanaian Chief Justice removed from office. Benue State government bans primary and nursery school graduation parties. Correspondent on special assignment examines the menace of instant wealth mentality. I am Aneke. Now the news in details. The stage is set in the heart of Beijing for a grand display of power and military might that has been choreographed by President Xi Jinping. 8 Chinese flags float and flank the portrait of Mao Zedong, the founder of Communist China, which sits on top of the Gate of Heavenly Peace overlooking Tiananmen Square, one of the largest public squares in the world. 26 seats were reserved for foreign heads of state, including Russia's Vladimir Putin and North Korea's Kim Jong-un, whose attendance is a diplomatic win for Xi. Also, Chinese President Xi Jinping and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin have kicked off bilateral talks in Beijing on the eve of a massive military parade in the Chinese capital. Putin hailed relations between both countries, saying they were on an unprecedented level, adding that their close communication reflects the strategic nature of Russian Chinese ties. Xi told Putin that China-Russia relations have withstood the test of international changes, adding that Beijing was willing to work with Moscow to promote the construction of a more just and reasonable global governance system. Xi is set to host China's largest ever military parade tomorrow, which will mark the 80th anniversary of the surrender of the Japanese in China at the end of World War II. In the meantime, rescuers are using helicopters to search for survivors in the ruins of remote villages in eastern Afghanistan after a powerful earthquake killed 800 people and injured 1,800 others. Many are feared trapped under the rubble of their homes after the magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck on Sunday near the country's border with Pakistan. Authorities searched by air for the second day as roads blocked with debris and the mountainous terrain in the affected areas made land travel difficult. The Taliban government has appealed for international help. Meanwhile, the United Nations has released emergency funds, while the UK has pledged €1 million in aid. Also, UN says a landslide has killed at least 370 people in the remote Mara Mountains in western Sudan. The UN's Deputy Humanitarian Co-Coordinator for Sudan, Anthony Gerard, said that it was hard to assess the scale of the incident or the exact death toll, as the area was very hard to reach. Sudan Liberation Movement and Army, the armed group in control of the affected area, had earlier said as many as 1,000 people could have died. Days of heavy rain triggered the landslide, which left just one survivor and leveled much of the village of Tassin. Ghana's President John Mahama has fired the country's Chief Justice Gertrude Tokorno following a recommendation by an inquiry. She had been on suspension since April after complaints were lodged against her in petitions by 3 individuals, with the president setting up a 5-member committee to investigate. The commission found that grounds of stated misbehavior has been established and recommended her removal from office. The presidency said in a statement that Ms. Tokorno has dismissed the allegations as unfounded and politically motivated. The presidency said Mahama was required to act in accordance with the committee's recommendations. This news broadcast is coming to you live from Aneke TV. Remember, you can follow us on all social media feeds on Facebook, Instagram, X and TikTok, and here on YouTube, all at Aneke TV. Now, a quick look at major developments in the news. Beijing is locked down as the country showcases power in global stage. Ghanaian Chief Justice removed from office. Coming up shortly in the news, Benue State government bans primary and nursery school graduation parties. Correspondent on special assignment examines the menace of instant wealth mentality. And the news returns after the break. Stay.
Aqua, water. Water is life. Ancient, sacred, pure. It remembers creation and carries cleansing. It can be calm or it can rage, but it always moves. Aqua teaches us to be soft yet strong, to adapt yet remain, to flow around obstacles yet shape even the hardest stone. We came from water. We need water. And sometimes, when words fail and hearts break, only water, falling from our eyes or washing over our skin, can heal what language cannot.
You're still watching the News at 3 on Aneke TV. We'll now bring you stories from Nigeria. The Benue State government has banned graduation parties for kindergarten, nursery and primary schools in the state. The Acting Commissioner, Ministry of Education and Knowledge Management, Mrs. Helen Nambative, told the News Agency of Nigeria, Makurdi, that defaulting schools would be sanctioned. Mrs. Nambative said schools might be closed temporarily for failure to implement the new education policy that prohibited such parties. The acting commissioner therefore said that the government was putting all the needed mechanisms in place to enforce the new policy. Still talking education, tens of thousands of international students in the United Kingdom are being directly contacted by the government with a warning to leave the country when their visa expires or face removal. The UK Home Security Yvette Cooper told correspondents that some students are claiming asylum. Cooper also said the growing number of students entering the asylum system is placing added pressure on already overstretched asylum accommodation and hotel services. The Home Secretary said around 10,000 students whose visas are nearing expiry have already received direct warnings. A further 130,000 students and their families are expected to be contacted in the coming months, coinciding with a busy autumn intake period, according to the BBC. In the meantime, the U.S. mission in Nigeria is urging Nigerian travelers to adhere strictly to the terms of their United States visas, stating that misusing them could jeopardize future travel to the country. The mission stated this in a statement on its X account today. Providing what constitutes misuse of a U.S. visa, the mission explained that overstaying in the country beyond the authorized period may lead to severe consequences, including restrictions on future travel. The warning comes amid growing concerns over strict U.S. visa policies for application and compliance. The U.S. Department of State had reported over 700,000 visa overstays in 2023 alone, with Nigeria ranking among the top countries affected. Now, Aneke TV correspondent Chidimma Ikemede in this special report will examine how instant wealth mentality has become a menace to the society.
1 Timothy 6 verse 10 reminds us, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. By craving it, some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows." The so-called instant wealth mentality, often described as the get-rich-quick syndrome, refers to the rapacious desire to acquire financial wealth through questionable or unauthorized means solely to satisfy interests or selfish ambitions. In former days, Nigerians prided themselves on the dignity of labor, hard work, humility, endurance, respect for elders, and perseverance, where values were deeply taught by parents and guardians. These virtues propelled many young people into apprenticeship, skill acquisition, and education with the hope of building a solid future. But today, the narrative is changing. With the advent of technology and the erosion of values, many youths have abandoned diligence and now chase wealth by any means. Over time, some parents even began forcing their daughters into marriages with wealthy men, as there is an Igbo adage that says, "Ogobuchi onye," meaning In-laws determine destiny, regardless of love or compatibility. Likewise, some parents urge their sons to make money like their mates without caring about the source. This cultural shift fractured society. Instead of rising through hard work, many young people now want to rise like the Iroko tree, tall, proud, but with little or no traces of foundational hard work. Some have indulged into money rituals, popularly known as ukite, cybercrime, popularly known as Yahoo, prostitution, vandalism, kidnapping, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and theft. The get-rich-quick mentality is not a Nigerian problem. It is a global issue. It spreads like wildfire. In pharmaceuticals, some produce fake or adulterated drugs, repackage expired medicines, or sell counterfeit drinks and foods. Others flood the market with harmful skincare products or inferior tires that bust on highways, claiming innocent lives, all in the name of profit. In public service, corruption thrives. Officials embezzle humongous funds, collect bribes, and divert resources meant for development. Some engineers cut corners by using substandard materials to build roads that collapse within months. Certain nurses exchange babies for money, while baby factories exploit young pregnant girls. Some native doctors encourage blood money rituals, while prosperity-preaching pastors promise instant success without labor, even blessing fraudsters and urging them to pay tithes. But is this truly the right way to make money? Must everyone be rich and influential at all costs? Some Enugu residents who spoke with Aneke TV lamented the moral collapse.
In recent time, we have seen a deviation from hard work and the entrenchment of laziness among the youths and the upcoming ones. Because you now see a situation where people don't no longer take patience in hard work. Like not you want to reap when we did not sow, or you want to sow today, and you know that in the process of planting you have to sow, you have to wait. There's a gestation period, and then before you talk of harvesting. But these days the young ones want to sow today and then reap the next day. That is get rich quick thing.
They want to belong because when they see their mates, and when they see their mates driving big cars, they want to belong. Some parents are also the cause, because the way they talk to their children, they compare their children to the children of their neighbors or their co-wives. That's one of the things to me.
Some of the parents contribute to this get-rich-quick syndrome, because when the parents begin to compare the child with other people, you are telling your child, have you not seen Mr. A, how he's doing well, buying houses for the parents, doing this and doing that? That child will feel bad, or we want to go to any length in impressing you to show that, okay, you know, to make you proud. That is what some of them, you get them, they say, I want to make my parents proud, because the parents refuse to be proud of them because they have not met up with the other people they are comparing them with. So you don't compare your child with anybody.
They noted that society has grown cold, not just cold, but frozen. The poor are despised, mocked, and branded as cursed, while the wealthy are exalted regardless of how they earned their wealth. This disturbing trend calls for sober reflection. It is time to pause, reconsider, and retrace our steps for the sake of ourselves, our families, and our nation. As the proverb warns, he who knows how to pound should pound on a mortar, but he who doesn't know how to pound should pound on the floor. Let's always reflect on the words of the gospel preacher in Ecclesiastes 1, verse 2, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Chidimi Kemedem, Aneke TV.
Thank you, Chidimai Kemede, for that report. And moving ahead, a fire outbreak has destroyed the radio studio of Ajayi Crowther University in Oyo State, resulting in the loss of equipment and property worth millions of naira. The incident occurred yesterday within the university campus. According to reports, the fire was triggered by an electrical surge from the studio's air conditioning system. The blaze quickly spread through the facility before firefighters arrived to contain it. Confirming the incident, the chairman of the Oyo State Fire Service, Maruf Akinwande, in a statement said firefighters quickly responded to the call. He advised the public to always have fire extinguishers and use them properly to stop small fires before they spread. Also, the federal government has expressed excitement over a sharp rise in diaspora remittances, which has surged to $600 million monthly in the past 2 months, according to figures from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabirerewa, said the increase reflected renewed confidence in the Nigerian economy and recent CBN policy reforms. In a statement issued by NIDCOM spokesperson Mr. Abdul Rahman Balogun, Mrs. Dabirerewa described the inflow as humongous, noting that it marked a 200% jump from the $200 million monthly average previously recorded. Away from that, operatives of the Akwa Ibom State Police Command have apprehended 7 suspected cultists over cult-related attacks in Iko-Sura, Iko-Tekpene local government area of the state. It was gathered that the suspects believed to be members of the proscribed Ku Klux Klan confraternity were arrested with a human score. This was contained in a statement by the command's public relations officer, DSP Tim Fon John in Uyo. John said the arrest followed a complaint received by a student of the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Iko-Sura, that he was ambushed and attacked by members of the gang. She said that the victim, who had renounced his membership of the terror group, was unconscious after the attack, adding that his Redmi 13C Android phone and 41,000 naira in cash were stolen from him. Now we head to business news. Nigeria and Colombia are working towards partnership in aviation, trade and cultural exchanges. These are the highlights of the bilateral meeting between Colombia Vice President Francia Marcos and Vice President Kashim Shettima in Abuja yesterday. The South American, who is on a 3-day visit to Nigeria, met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in company of Shettima after their meeting. The president assured the Colombian leader that he would implement the agreements that were reached at a meeting with the vice president. Mrs. Marcos identified aviation, visa facilitation, political consultations, cultural exchange, and trade as priority areas for partnership. She also highlighted Colombia's interest in direct flights between both nations and expressed commitment to working with Nigeria to advance social justice, gender equality, and inclusivity. Still talking business. The Naira recorded its highest single-day appreciation against the dollar across both the official and parallel foreign exchange markets yesterday. According to Central Bank of Nigeria data, the Naira gained 1,526 Naira against the dollar on Monday from 1,531 Naira 57 kobo at the official exchange market. This means that at the official market, the Naira strengthened by 5 Naira 48 kobo per dollar on Monday compared with 1,531 Naira 57 kobo traded on Friday last week. The figure surpassed the 3 Naira 9 kobo margin at which the Naira appreciated at the close of Friday the previous week. Similarly, in the black market, the Naira firmed by 10 Naira to 1,533 Naira on Monday from 1,543 Naira traded on Friday, aberrate the change operator in Wuse Zone 4, Abubakar Al-Hassan, told reporters. He said that the appreciation of the Naira is unconnected to low demand for foreign currency on Monday. Now we head over to sports. Team Edo stamped their authority in weightlifting at the ongoing 9th National Youth Games in Asaba, Delta State, finishing well ahead of the competition to emerge overall champions. With a haul of 9 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze medals, Edo outclassed their rivals, leaving Team Akwa Ibom in second place with 5 gold, 2 silver and 2 bronze medals. Team Abia followed in third with 3 gold, while Team Niger settled for fourth with 1 gold and 2 silver medals. Edo's dominance was most evident in the women's weight classes, where they swept all 9 gold medals on offer. We're still talking sports. Super Falcons forward Asisat Oshoala is set to join Saudi Arabia Professional Women's Football League side Al Hilal. Oshoala will make the switch from National Women's Soccer League and WSL club Bay FC. The 30-year-old, according to The Athletic, arrived Riyadh on Monday and passed a medical test. And we headed to entertainment. Big Brother Nigeria Season 10 housemate Faith has secured the head of house title for week 6 after an intense challenge on Monday evening, dethroning Sultana. Sultana was the interim head of house for week 6 after winning a 3-stage challenge on Sunday. However, Faith outshined his fellow housemates Koyi in Missy, Sultana, Yvette and Doris during the head of house challenge. His victory not only grants him immunity from this week's nominations, but also positions him at the center of House leadership and strategy. Also, a former holder of the Guinness World Record for marathon cooking, Hilda Bassi, will be cooking 250 bags of rice to set a new world record for the biggest jollof pot. Hilda made the plan public on Monday in a training video shared on her Instagram page. Analyzing the scale of the project, Hilda explained that she would be using a 22,619 liters pot for the cooking. And that's all on the news at 3 here on Aneke TV. To end the news, here are the main points. The stage is set in the heart of Beijing for a grand display of power and military might that has been choreographed by President Xi Jinping. Ghana's President John Mahama has fired the country's Chief Justice, Geturu Tokono, following a recommendation by an inquiry. We also told you that our correspondent on special assignment examined the menace of instant wealth mentality. And to end the news, for breaking news and eyewitness reports, please call 0703-043-7110, or you can send a message across all our social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and right here on YouTube, all at Aneke TV. I am Aneke. Thank you for joining us.